Deja vu. Could you have been the dream that I once knew, shining through? Oh, I keep remembering me. I keep remembering you. Deja vu. Ooh. Hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am coming to you with a review of Dating My Ex. Are You Still a Virgin? Season 1, Episode 1. Okay. Before I get started, thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my family. To everybody who's been here for a while, you know I love you to pieces. And if you are new coming here, why don't you subscribe? It doesn't cost you anything. You'll get a good laugh, and we are a wonderful family for you to join. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead without further ado and start this review. Okay, so now this is a couple by the name of Fabian. Fabian is 31 years old, and then we have his ex-girlfriend, who is Rachel. She's 28 years old. And so we see, you know, him coming to the house. He's arranging everything for her. He's brought her her favorite meal, her Chinese food, so on and so forth. He says that, you know, when he met her, she told him that she was a virgin. And so because she told him that, he thought that it was a joke. Well, after 4 years of being together in a relationship, she proved that she was absolutely a virgin. Now, there are many definitions to virgins. There's reborn virgins, and then there's virgins who have not had sex the traditional way. And this woman, when he met her, was all of that, okay? She had a religious background, and so did he. And so after, I believe, let me see how many years it was. Anyway, after some years, they ended up coming back to this house. And so the premise of this particular show is that you come into a house with your ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend, and you see whether or not you can make it work, whether or not you can mend it, or whether or not you can get closure out of the deal. And for them, I think that for him, he had came in with the idea that she would forgive him for cheating on her, and that he was going to propose. Okay, she came in with, I want to know why he cheated on me, and what that was about. I don't believe that she truly came into the house with the attitude that she was going to try to reunite with him. Now, I'm going to explain that later on as we go further into their relationship. But anyway, and anywho, Rachel comes into the house after him. Everything is set up because, of course, he wants to create this perfect atmosphere for romance, for love, and for connection. He tells her that she looks very young, and he's like, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that you looked old or anything, but you look younger than you did when we were together. And she's like, oh, okay, well, thank you. He said, maybe it's because you live in Minnesota and it's cold there, and your skin and everything is being preserved in the ice and in the cold. Anyway, she's like, okay, really? What a thing to say. And so they sit down, and he starts talking about himself. He's that typical anal man that can't wait for somebody to compliment him. He asks her, you know, whether or not she likes his hair and stuff like that. And he says, you know, I got it cut. Maybe I shouldn't got it cut as short. She said, you're right, because I don't like it. And then, you know, okay, that's a little blow to his ego and all that kind of stuff. This guy is living in a fantasy world. Okay, the reason why they ended up breaking up was because after 4 years, he felt like he owed it to himself to have sex. He told her later on that it was just time for him to have sex. He had been with her for 4 years. She said that she was a virgin and that she was going to stay a virgin. She said although she was a virgin, he still wanted her to have sex in every other creative way other than the regular traditional sex. And I'm not going to make this an X-rated video, so I'm not going to go into the details. You're going to have to use your imagination. She said that even he wanted her to use anal sex as a way for him to be satisfied, and for him it wasn't enough. What he did was he ended up going out and having a relationship with a young lady who was dressed up in a Tinkerbell outfit. He said it was a sexy Tinkerbell outfit, and it's like, okay, so did you meet her at a Halloween party or what? So, you know, anyway, he has an affair with this girl, and Rachel finds out and she moves back home. After 4 years, it's obvious that he wasn't ready to marry her, because if she wanted to be a virgin until she got married, which is what she said, then what took him so long to marry her after 4 years? So I guess that, you know, really what he wanted to do was have his cake and eat it too. I think that this guy is absolutely, totally fascinated with the fact that she's a virgin. So when they sit down and they have a conversation and they talk about it, he asks her, are you still a virgin? You don't have to answer it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm curious and I want to know. And so she says, yes, I am still a virgin. And then, you know, so the conversation proceeds on, and he gets to the point where he's asking her all kinds of questions about them being back together. She starts to cry. He says that he wants to, you know, he wants her to forgive him for cheating on her, and she starts crying. One thing I noticed about this young lady is that she's extremely emotional and not in control of that. And I think that a lot of times, like I said, your words and your effectiveness get lost sometimes in your tears. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't times where you need to cry. I do believe that there are times when you need to cry. However, I just believe that her showing the emotion that she showed, he really didn't take her as seriously as he would have had she not cried. But anyway, I digress so that we can continue on with the conversation. So she ends up they end up moving over to the, well, no, she's eating a meal, a pasta meal that he had purchased for her, because again, he wanted to make sure that she had all the things that she wanted. She was scraping the plate with her fork. Now, while I found that very, very annoying, he actually told her to stop, because she stopped. Oh, she flew off the handle then, because she said, you know what, I'm better than you. I can do better than you. I don't have to have you. Yada yada, etc., so on and so forth. It is totally understandable that after having a breakup with an individual who cheats on you, that you would be a little angry and still have a little bit of animosity in your heart, or at least because until you get the closure that you need. And for her, I think the closure that she needed, she really took it overboard. Say what you mean, and mean what you say. Just tell him, look, I don't want to be with you, and it is what it is. I can't understand why you would cheat on me. Anyway, they move over to the sofa, because at first they were sitting at the kitchen bar. They have a long eating bar, but whatever. They got a bar in the kitchen where you sit down and you eat at it. Okay, a kitchen island. That's what it is. And so they walk over to the sofa, and this is when he starts talking about, she asks him, so why did you do it, and why her? And he goes into the dialogue, as you know, she was Tinkerbell. He felt like it was time for him to, you know, have sex or whatever. Okay. Well, since you found out that, you know, you thought that it was time for you to have sex, it was time for you to break up and get out of the relationship. People communicate what it is that you want, because until you communicate what it is that you want, you won't really get what you desire out of a relationship, or out of a friendship, or out of anything, out of a career. Whatever it is that you want, you have to speak it. And you can't just you can't assume that people know what you want. She sits over on the sofa and she talks to him and says, you know what, I finally had an orgasm. The virgin now had an orgasm. He's like shocked. You had an orgasm? I couldn't make you have one? She said, no. What I ended up finding out about was about, I learned about the clitoris. How gross. Now, I know that they know these cameras are on. Boo-boo. You couldn't whisper that, but I guess, people are sexually liberal now. They talk about all kinds of stuff. I thought that was just a little bit too much for television. I really did. But anyway, she says that, she learned about her body parts, her, little vaginal parts and everything. And so, she explored and she's had an orgasm. That turned him on. So he asked her, do you still love me? She said, that's a rough question. He was like, either you love me or you don't. Same damn thing I'm thinking. Either you love him or you don't. But it's obvious that she doesn't love him. He's still that controlling, arrogant man that he always was. He lacked the skills to communicate with her on a level that she needed to be communicated on. But he still thought better of himself and thought so much of himself that he didn't see the signs that she just wasn't in love with him. She came there for closure, and closure she did get. At the end of the night, they go upstairs and everything, and they have the one bed in the room, and the couples have to make a decision on whether or not they're going to sleep together. Kind of like the Bachelorette with the final, before the final rose, and they get the little fantasy suite where they have one fantasy bed. They get in the bed together. She has a little face mask on her face. He tries to, get some nookie for the tookie. She tells him no, the face mask is, on the side, the little sleep mask she has on. And then, once she tells him no and she wants to have a conversation, which is what most women want. That's the way men to, get the juices flowing, is to have that conversation with us. Well, he didn't want to do that, and the next thing he was asleep. They get up in the morning and they're having breakfast. And he decides that he's going to pull out this little jar of sunflower seeds. Inside the sunflower seeds is an engagement ring. This man doesn't even realize that his opportunity and his chance to be with her as a wife or girlfriend is over. He don't even realize it. But I did. I realized it was over. She didn't say no, and she damn sure didn't say yes. He got into his feelings and ended up leaving. After the show is over, I saw a clip that is on Bravo where she realized and he realized that it would never have worked. She said that he was an arrogant son of a you-know-what, and he's not somebody that she wanted to be with. Let me tell you something. This was, it was okay. I think that the shows have gotten better and better, but this is just season 1, episode 1. I'm going to be coming back, same outfit, same everything, because I'm marathoning this because I am so far behind. So we're going to come back, and the next couple that we are going to talk about, you all, is Sunny and Matt. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this review. Auntie loves you. Bye-bye.